We're back in here at the famous Williamsgrove Speedway for heat race number 1 in the sprint car division of tonight's regular sprint car program. We have sitting on the pole in car number 11 will be Todd Schaefer, and alongside him in the ICP number 86 will be Bobby Landis out of McAllisterville, Pennsylvania. Starting in row number 2 on the inside in that third starting spot will be the number 17 of Dave Kelly. And alongside him in car number 65 will be Johnny Mackison Jr. Starting 5th on the inside of row number 3 in car number 3 will be Chuck Ward, and alongside him in the Bill Bryan Excavating number 16 will be Bobby Weaver. Starting in that 7th starting spot in car number 9, new number for Joey Gravino out of Harrisburg, and alongside him in car number 119, a feature winner at the Williamsgrove Speedway last Saturday night, Steve Smith. Starting in that 9th position in car number 26, out of Thompsontown will be Jim Nace, and alongside him in car number 69, bringing up the rear, the winner of the $10,000 spring thaw-out race at the Williamsgrove Speedway, Donnie Kreitz Jr. Those are your starters, 10 assigned starting spots for 10-lap distance here, and we'll watch them, our pole setters, Todd Schaefer and Bobby Landis. They roll into turn number 3. The K&H pace car exits the speedway. Todd Schaefer immediately picks up the pace. The green flag waves, and we'll watch them as they come down the front stretch. Schaefer with the lead. As they head through turns 1 and 2, Dave Kelly quickly up the second. Bobby Landis trying to hold off Chuck Ward for that third spot. They thunder down the backstretch now. Ward moves up to third. Landis runs 4th out of the transfer order. We'll watch them as they roar off a turn number 4. A lot of jamming in the back of the pack. Jim Nace around the outside of Donnie Kreitz and Johnny Mackison Jr. So Nace is on the move from the rear end of this field. Off turn number 4, it's still Todd Schaefer, your leader in the Turnbull Enterprises number 11. He's got Dave Kelly hot on his heels as they roll through turns 1 and 2. Landis getting pressure now for that third spot from Bobby Weaver. Jim Nace right back there also battling. Off turn number 4 now, coming down the front stretch to complete yet another lap. Schaefer, your leader. Kelly runs 2nd, Chuck Ward 3rd. Jim Nace up to 4th now. Bobby Weaver runs 5th. Joey Gravino in the 6th spot, and Bobby Landis runs 7th. We'll pick him up in turn number 4 now. There's your leader, Todd Schaefer, as he heads down the front stretch and into turns 1 and 2. Dave Kelly continues to run 2nd. Chuck Ward 3rd. Jim Nace, with a lot of horsepower here, has come all the way from the tail end of the field and is currently riding in that 4th. And, well, it'll be a transfer spot, 4th tonight with 3 heat races at the halfway mark. Nace beginning to zero in on Chuck Ward in the Jasper Petit number 3. Nace likes that high cushion tonight. He works it as they come off turn number 2, right up on the rear bumper of Chuck Ward. Todd Schaefer continues to lead as they come off turn 4 and down the front stretch. Dave Kelly still runs 2nd. Chuck Ward 3rd. Jim Nace 4th. Bobby Weaver runs in that 5th spot, followed by Joey Gravino. Off turn 4, one more time with a tailwind. Todd Schaefer as he comes into turns 1 and 2. Dave Kelly continues to run 2nd. Chuck Ward 3rd. Jim Nace 4th. Nace knows that all he has to do is finish 4th, and he'll be transferred according to his point average. Schaefer looking for the 2 laps to go sign, this time from starter Butch Book as he comes to the flag stand. 5 down, or rather 8 down, and 2 to go on your leader, Todd Schaefer. White flag being made ready now for your leader, Todd Schaefer, in car number 11. That's the Turnbull Bobby Strickland Enterprises number 11. Dave Kelly continues to ride 2nd. Chuck Ward 3rd. Jim Nace holds down the 4th spot. It's a long way back to Bobby Weaver, who runs 5th. And it's Joey Gravino, Donnie Kreitz, and Bobby Landis. Checkered flag now being waved for Todd Schaefer as he comes to the flag stand. He'll pick up the win. Kelly will take second. Chuck Ward will finish third. Jim Nace, your fourth and final transfer machine. And it's the 16 of Bobby Weaver, followed by the 9 of Joey Gravino, the 69K of Donnie Kreitz. And Bobby Landis a bit off the pace, falling all the way from his original starting spot on the front row all the way to the tail end of this field. So the first heat in the record books, and Todd Schaefer will go down as your winner. And we'll move to heat race number 2. We're back in here at the Williamsgrove Speedway for heat race number 2. I'll go down over the starting lineup. Starting on the poles, the rookie of the year here at the Williamsgrove Speedway last year, as a matter of fact. In the Shepherd's Exxon, number 140 will be Jeff Shepard. Starting in that second spot, in the Fletcher Amico, number 66A, will be Bobby Fletcher. And starting in the inside of row number 2, in that third starting spot, will be the number 14, the Beavertown veteran Barry Camp. Alongside him in the Lawrence Service Center, number 99, a real crash victim here last week at Williamsgrove, end over end in turns 1 and 2, will be Bill Bailey. Starting in that fifth spot, inside of row number 3 now, in car number K1, will be the Toll House Restaurants machine driver Daryl Gone. Alongside him in the number 88 machine, this is a Carl Har's Furniture Special, will be driver Kenny Adams, and making up row number 4 on the inside, in car number 2, the Busch Beer machine of Steve Sigel. Alongside Sigel in that 8th starting spot will be the Roy Morrill number 880 of Keith Kaufman. And making up the final row on the inside will be the number 12 of Steve Stanball in the Apple Chevrolet machine. And alongside him will be the number 69S of Butch Schaff, rookie driver, sponsored by Silky Sportswear. The field now in turns 1 and 2 behind the Coons Harnish pace car, and they'll be getting the 1-lap signal from starter Gordon Book as they roll by the flag stand. Not a real great crowd here at Williamsgrove tonight. The temperature's hovering around the 40-degree mark, and the wind chill factor is supposed to be around 22 degrees tonight. So it's a little bit nasty up here on top of the tower this evening. We'll watch the field now as they roll into turns 3 and 4, and we'll see if the K&H pace car pulls from the speedway, and it does. We'll be watching our pole setters Jeff Shepard and Bobby Fletcher as they pick up the pace. Starter Galen Kohler waves the green flag. A good rolling start in turn number 4. Fletcher with the advantage as they roll through turns 1 and 2, but down on the inside is Bill Bailey, and he gets that 99 airborne momentarily. And a little bit more, and he would have taken another nasty ride this week. He's got her under control now as he challenges Bobby Fletcher off of turn number 4. Bill Bailey in the Lawrence Service Center machine has moved in that number 1 spot as they head through turns 1 and 2. Shepard trying to get around the 66 of Bobby Fletcher. Here comes Kaufman up the inside now. Kaufman on the move. Kenny Adams, the former motorcycle star, rides in that second spot now as they come off turn number 4. A lot of action back here with Barry Camp and Steve Stanball along with Daryl Gone. Having a hard time holding the front end down on these cars tonight. Up front, it's still Bill Bailey, and he gets a little out of shape, and just that quickly, the 88 of Kenny Adams moves right in. Adams challenging now from that second position. Kaufman bouncing around. Shepard up against the fence, but he brings it back. Steve Sigel rides in that 5th spot. Battle for the lead now. Kenny Adams around the outside of Bill Bailey as they come off turn number 4. We're at the halfway mark next time. 4 laps down, 6 to go. On your leader, Kenny Adams. Adams has been real fast here on the Central Pennsylvania circuit. Everywhere he goes, he's up front. Right now, he has his sails to the wind, and there's plenty of that tonight as he comes off turn number 4. Kaufman now working on the 99 of Bill Bailey. He gets around and moves up to second, but here comes Bailey back on the inside. Kaufman's going to have the momentum off turn number 2, and he'll take that second position. Bailey runs third now. Steve Sigel up to 4th. Jeff Shepard runs 5th. off turn number 4. Here comes Kenny Adams, your leader in the Carl Hars Furniture number 88. Shepard way high again off turn number 4. Flirting with disaster. He tries to close it up on Steve Sigel in the Busch Beer number 2. And it looks like it's working as he has now climbed up into that 5th spot. Make that the 4th spot, but here comes Sigel back now. Shepard trying to get a qualifying spot here for the feature event. Up front, it's all Kenny Adams with a comfortable lead over Keith Kaufman and Bill Bailey. The real battle is for that 4th position. Jeff Shepard and the number 2 of Steve Sigel. We'll watch our leader as he comes off turn number 4, Kenny Adams in the Carl Hars Furniture number 88. He's actually pulled away from Keith Kaufman here. Kaufman all alone in 2nd, Bailey all alone in 3rd. Then it's the Jeff Shepard and Steve Sigel battle. You see it on your screen. He'll be picking up the white flag this time, going your leader, Kenny Adams, Kaufman, and Bailey as they come to the flag stand. One more lap to go on your leader, Kenny Adams, and he looks strong tonight. Adams actually about to put Bobby Fletcher a lap down, your pole setter, as they come off turn number 4, the checkered flag in the hand of Gordon Book. There it is. Adams will pick up the win. Darrell Gone actually blown an engine here on the front stretch. A lot of smoke coming out of that number 1 machine. Keith Kaufman will get the 2nd spot. 3rd will go to Bill Bailey in the number 99. 4th will go to Jeff Shepard in the number 140. And the 5th spot will go to Steve Sigel. Rounding out the field, we had the 12 of Steve Stanball, the 14 of Barry Camp, the 66 of Bobby Fletcher. Of course, the 69 of Butch Schaaf, and of course the number 1, the Toll House Restaurants machine. We see it setting there. Darrell Gone will complete the field. We'll move now to heat race number 3. Back in here at the Williamsgrove Speedway for the 3rd and final heat race. Starting on the pole in car number 15S will be Greg Plank, and alongside him, a crash victim in the warm-ups a little earlier tonight, Rod Ort. Starting 3rd. In car number 28S will be Danny Dietrich, and right beside him in the number 69 will be Chuck Reinert. Starting in that 5th spot. In car number 77 will be Frankie Kerr, and alongside him in the number 461 will be Paul Latier. Starting 7th in car number 33 will be Freddie Raymer, and right beside him in car number 19 will be Stevie Smith. Starting in that 9th spot will be the number 29 of Jimmy Sills, and rounding out the field, starting 10th in the number 85 will be Craig Eschenauer. So the field is nicely assembled right now behind the Kuhn Harnisch pace car over on the back stretch. Yellow lights are still on, so it looks like they're going to get at least one more lap around, and we'll be back with the waving of the green flag. Back in here at the Williamsgrove Speedway as the Kuhn Harnisch pace car leaves the speedway right now in turns 3 and 4. We'll watch the rest of the field. Greg Plank, Rod Ort, and Danny Dietrich. And it looks like it's going to be Dietrich as they roll into turns 1 and 2. Dietrich up high. Greg Plank kind of bouncing around the speedway right now, hanging on to that 2nd spot. Here comes Chuck Reinert and Freddie Raymer. Raymer dives her in hard into turns 3 and 4, comes up with that 3rd spot. Up in turns 4, trouble. Whoa, Paul Latier up on 2 wheels. I don't know how he ever saved it, but he saved it. Latier with a Joey Chitwood thrill show here in turn number 4, but he brought her back. Meanwhile, up front, it's still Danny Dietrich, your leader, off turn number 4. Freddie Raymer runs 2nd. Sills now trying to come from the back of this field. Jimmy Sills works the Bob Weichert number 29 into that 4th spot. He gets by Greg Plank. Frankie Kerr moves around Plank. Stevie Smith and Paul Latier way in the back yet. Up front, it's Stowe, and Brady Raymer hit the inside fence, but he hung on. He continues to ride 2nd on the speedway. Chuck Reinert runs 3rd. Jimmy Sills 4th. Frankie Kerr still rides 5th. Your big leader is the number 28S of Danny Dietrich up in turns 3 and 4 now. 4 laps down, 6 to go on your leader, Dietrich. Raymer continues to run 2nd. Chuck Reinert runs 3rd. Jimmy Sills 4th. And it's Frankie Kerr, Stevie Smith, and Paulatier. Once again, off turn number 4, it's still the 28S of Danny Dietrich in the George's Auto Sales machine. Sills now beginning to put heavy pressure on the 69 of Chuck Reiner. Jimmy Sills works the inside of the speedway, and it looks like he may have enough. But here comes Chuck Reiner back again on the outside. They go side by side through turns 3 and 4. Freddie Raymer right in front of that battle. Chuck Reiner hangs on for one more lap. Reiner gets up over the cushion and Sills is gone. Sills now tries to zero in on Freddie Raymer. Seven laps completed now, 3 to go. On your leader, the 28, the George's Auto Sales machine of Danny Dietrich. There's a good battle on your screen as Jimmy Sills works his way up the second now. He gets around Freddie Raymer. Raymer had driven the 29 earlier this season. Now he's following it off turn number 4 with 2 laps to go. Your leader, your big leader, is Danny Dietrich. Sills runs second, Raymer runs third. Chuck Reiner runs in that 4th spot, followed by the 77 of Frankie Kerr. Stevie Smith and Paulatier really off the pace here in the heat race. White flag lap now on your leader, Danny Dietrich. Sills continues to run second, all alone. Raymer's all alone in third. Then it's the 69 of Chuck Reiner and the 77 of Frankie Kerr. Off turn 4, a car slowing down. We may get a checkered no, the yellow's gonna come out. So a tough break for your leader, Danny Dietrich, who had it in the bag, but that'll go by the wayside as the 15 of Greg Plank rolls to a stop off turn 4. We'll be back with the restart. We're back in here at the Williamsgrove Speedway. I'm Johnny Strasser for Strasser Video Productions. We're going to see what happens here as Jimmy Sills is in the second spot. He seemed to have a lot of horsepower. Dan Dietrich, his big lead will be erased by the yellow. And can Dietrich hold off Jimmy Sills for one more lap around? Hey, and they're jamming up off turn number 4. Freddie Raymer and Chuck Reiner. Reiner wants that 3rd spot back, and he gets it. Let's see what happens now as Raymer goes to the inside. Sills goes to the inside. Oh, all kinds of jamming for those last qualifying spots. Your leader's gonna be Danny Dietrich off turn 4 with Sills taking the 2nd spot. And here comes Stevie Smith all the way up to 3rd. Unbelievable. Chuck Reiner will take 4th. Frankie Kerr will finish 5th. And Freddie Raymer all the way back to that 6th spot in a half a lap. So Stevie Smith coming from nowhere to grab a qualifying berth here in tonight's 25-lap feature. But Chuck Reiner, he seemed pretty grabby coming off of turn number 4. He wanted that 3rd spot back, and he got it. But some hot and heavy action here among some of the heavyweights, and we'll be back with more racing action from the Williamsgrove Speedway. Welcome, race fans. We're back here at the Williamsgrove Speedway. All the preliminaries in the record books, and we're just about set to go with a 25-lap sprint car feature event. Joining us here in the tower, Ken Stahl, to call the exciting lap-by-lap action.
Well, one big development after the heat races, John. Jim Nace scratched from the feature event as they had some problems with the motor in that car. I noticed he slowed down after he really came charging up to 4th and stayed there, and then they load the car up and he's out for the night.
Tough break for the Thompsontown veteran. We'll go down over the starting lineup. Starting on the pole in car number 11, the Turnbull Enterprise machine, will be Todd Schaefer. And alongside him, the Rookie of the Year here at Williamsgrove in 1987, Jeff Shepard in car number 140.
Row 2 will have the Kelly Racing Fuels number 17 of Dave Kelly starting 4th, and the George's Auto Sales number 28S of Dan Dietrich on the outside of row 2.
Starting in that 5th spot will be Bill Bailey, a crash victim here last weekend, and alongside him will be Chuck Ward in car number 3.
Row number 4 on the inside, starting in the 7th spot will be the Bob Fetter number 77 of Frankie Kerr, and starting 8th in car number 88 will be Kenny Adams.
Starting in that 9th spot on the inside of row number 5 will be the Roy Morrill Hardy's 880 of Keith Kaufman, and alongside him, a guy that really came on like gangbusters at the end of his heat race to gain a qualifying spot, In the Libby Mobile Homes, Creasy signs number 19, Steve Smith Jr.
Row 6, the winner here last Friday night is on the inside in the Bob Weichert Livestock number 29, Jimmy Sills, and starting 12th in the Bill Bryan number 16, Bobby Weaver.
And there's a brand new engine under the hood of that number 29, I understand, from what I was told in the pit area a little bit earlier. Starting in the 13th spot in the Busch Beer number 2 will be Steve Siegel, and alongside him in the Van May Sterner Cement number 69 will be Chuck Reinert.
Starting 15th will be car number 9, and the driver of that car is Joey Gravino in the Polaris machine. And on the outside of row 8, starting 16th in the Apple Chevrolet number 12, Steve Stambaugh.
Starting in that 17th starting spot will be the Ben Cook House car driven by Freddie Raymer, and alongside him will be your consolation winner, the number 461 of Paul Latier.
Moving back to the next starting spot will be the 69K of Donnie Kreitz Jr. He'll be followed by the 14 of Barry Camp. Also in the starting lineup, the 86 of Bobby Landis, the 119 of Steve Smith Sr., and your first alternate getting in there is the number 85 of Craig Eschenauer, along with Johnny Mackison Jr. in tonight's starting lineup.
Okay, the field is on the speedway, nicely assembled behind the Coombs Harnish pace car. Our starter Butch Book signaling to be ready to go when they hit turn number 3. Interesting matchup, Todd Schaefer and Jeff Shepard. Both drivers raced against one another in the go-kart ranks a few years ago, and Shepard has really come on strong here on the circuit over the last couple of nights.
Looked real good in that heat race, and another car in here is Butch Schaaf's number 69, as he'll replace the 119 of Steve Smith Sr. Smith late to get to the racetrack. You aren't late at Williamsgrove, you don't come out. Butch Schaaf's in there.
That's for sure. Somebody always there ready to take your spot. Well, off turn number 4, the green flag waves, and we'll watch them as they thunder down the front stretch. Danny Dietrich getting broadside in front of the field.
And everybody out of
and into the fence in turn 1.
Dietrich on his side in the number 28S. He didn't actually flip over. Now the green lights are back on. Heads up. Now the red comes back as they're having a problem, I think, with the lights as they went blinking. But the red is now out for Dan Dietrich in car number 28S. There you see him laying on his side. He didn't really flip over hard, but he did get against the wall and sort of tail over.
I thought we were going to have a real melee here on the front stretch. Dan Dietrich got so out of shape, really sideways. Everybody on the binders right directly behind him. And, you know, it's fortunate that he didn't actually crash here on the front stretch, because there would have been some heavy contact.
Well, a bad break for Danny Dietrich. I hope he'll be okay up there. As I said, the car did not flip bad, but boy, we got to charge into the pits. Everybody wants to make some changes for the restart.
We're back in here at the Williamsgrove Speedway, and the green flag waves off turn number 4. Danny Dietrich is in the pits. And we'll watch the rest of the field as they thunder through turns 1 and 2.
And Jeff Shepard against the wall in the 140. Stevie Smith airborne in 1 and 2. But everybody is still racing as they head down the backstretch.
Unbelievable. We're going to pick it up off turn number 4 with your leader, Todd Schaefer, out of Thompsontown, Pennsylvania. Make that Millerstown. The rest of the field storms down the front stretch and into turns 1 and 2.
I don't think I've ever seen a sprint car do what Stevie Smith just did down there in 1 and 2. And keep going. But he's on the speedway, and Todd Schaefer is your leader off of turn 4.
Dave Kelly runs in that second spot, followed by the number 77 of Frankie Kerr. Then we got a good battle between Kenny Adams, Keith Kaufman, and Bill Bailey.
And Kaufman tried to go by Adams, and they almost had some contact.
Whoa, Raymer in turn 2.
Right behind the pole there is a sprint car sitting. It's kind of hard to pick up. I believe it's Freddie Raymer in the car number 33, the Ben Cook House car.
Right directly by the cross arm on the pole, so Raymer just about flipped over. He was up on 2 wheels. Looks like he might have broke the front suspension on the Ben Cook House car, and we'll be back with yet another restart. We're back here at the Williamsgrove Speedway, and a strange development. Donnie Kreitz looked like he might have run into Keith under the yellow trying to get in the pit area. Now Kaufman's on the hook, and he's out of the race.
And now Dave Kelly's in the lead as he got a great start there and got ahead of Todd Schaefer as they come off of turn 4. So we have a lead change with Dave Kelly now at the front. Schaefer runs second, but the yellow comes right back out for Stevie Smith, who stalls the number 19. Stevie came out in front of the field and didn't want to lose a lap, so he brought out the yellow flag.
Paul Latier looked like he was going to stop in turn number 2, but he kept on going. There you see right directly across from us, Freddie Ramers, number 33, in the pit area, and Keith Kaufman in the 880. They're trying to get Kaufman into his pit area so they can fix the 880 and get him back in this show.
That development there all happened under the yellow. Donnie Kreitz was trying to get back into the pits to do some work on his number 69K, and he come up on the inside of Kaufman and somehow had contact there, and Keith rolled to a stop in turn 3. Now they're working on the 880, trying to get him back into this race, while Donnie Kreitz is out on the speedway in a position, and Paul Latier has joined Kaufman down here in the sprint pits. And I'll tell you what, the guys are driving tonight like every lap counts, which it obviously does, but I think they're realizing right now that you got to get to the front early in these races.
You cannot be conservative with the way it's been. All the up front people have been winning these races from the pole position or the outside front pole or very close to the front, and you got to get up there and you got to get going right off the bat. Right now, Schaefer will be your leader when we resume. A reprieve for Schaefer because he lost the lead to Dave Kelly.
Well, I'm not sure. I think down here on the chalkboard, Kelly may actually have the lead because the race may have been started. If it wasn't a false start, Kelly would be leading. Now
he was the leader when the yellow came out.
Yeah.
So.
Now your Gene Wood down here does have a message on the chalkboard, and I'm not sure exactly what it is. I'm just speculating, but it is possible that Kelly may be your leader. Now he's going to show something back through the pack further. So Todd Schaefer will keep the lead in car number 11 when we continue.
We're back in here at the Williamsgrove Speedway, and now Paul Latier is going to be pushed off, and I wouldn't be surprised if he stops on the track and brings out the yellow. Latier almost out on the track. Green flag waves, we're underway.
This time, a different development as Frankie Kerr got around Dave Kelly, and he's now challenging Todd Schaefer for the lead. So Kelly doesn't get the good start this time. Frankie Kerr does. And now Frankie Kerr is going after the number 1 spot as they race off at turn 4. Schaefer and Kerr side by side down the front stretch.
Chevrolet versus Ford power here at Williamsgrove. Frankie Kerr in that Ford-powered Bob Fetter machine has the lead off turn number 2.
And Todd Schaefer washed out up there on the high stuff, and Frankie Kerr went right by. That Ford's going to be tough to beat now. He's going to run around the top, and they're going to have to pass him down low.
Looks like the fast way around is up on top tonight. And right here we got, almost a problem with the 99 car on the front stretch. Bill Bailey, and he gets airborne down in turns 1 and 2.
And Dave Kelly has now moved up into the runner-up spot, getting around Todd Schaefer. So Schaefer now going back through the pack a little bit as he drops to 3rd. Your leader still Frankie Kerr.
Frankie Kerr sounds strong in that Bob Fetter number 77 as he heads down the backstretch right now. Dave Kelly runs 2nd. Todd Schaefer 3rd. Kenny Adams runs 4th. Then it's the 29 of Jimmy Sills riding in that 5th spot.
And Sills is starting to gain on your top runners. Frankie Kerr continues the lead. Dave Kelly, Todd Schaefer, Kenny Adams, and Jimmy Sills right together for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. And Sills is now going for 3rd.
And Jimmy Sills, he gets into Schaefer a little bit off of turn number 2, but he muscles his way by.
So Sills now runs 3rd on the speedway. Schaefer 4th and Adams 5th.
Jimmy Sills needs a yellow light right now because there's a lot of real estate between himself and your leader, the number 77 of Frankie Kerr.
And we don't have quite as many cars on the speedway as last week, so lap traffic won't be as much of a problem either.
They come off turn number 4. Once again, it's the number 77 of Frankie Kerr, followed by Dave Kelly, Jimmy Sills, Todd Schaefer, Kenny Adams, the 99 of Bill Bailey, the 12 of Stanball, the 69 of Reiner, and the 880 of Kaufman.
What a bad break for Kaufman. He's already halfway back up through this field. If he hadn't had to go to the back, he would certainly be a factor up front right now.
You'd have to think so as we continue to watch the field come off turn number 4. There's Todd Schaefer and Kenny Adams beginning to reel him in. So Schaefer doesn't have the horsepower tonight.
And Jimmy Sills doing the same thing in the 29. He's already caught Dave Kelly, and just a lap ago, he had a lot of real estate to make up.
Sills is the fast car on the speedway right now, I do believe. Although the 77 machine, the Bob Fetter Ford, looks strong also.
Well, catching somebody and passing them are two different things. There's no doubt about that. Sills caught Kelly with no problem at all. Now he's got to pass him.
Right at this point, it looks like they're both beginning to reel in your leader, Frankie Kerr, and the number 77 as they work their way.
Jeff Shepard is airborne and flipping the 140 down here in turn 1 and 2. And your second place car, Dave Kelly, and now Todd Schaefer, just barely missed him.
And he almost wiped out Kenny Adams on the rebound. So tough break for the young rookie, Jeff Shepard, getting over a couple of times there on turns 1 and 2. Car comes to the stop. And I haven't seen, there comes Jeff Shepard now, exiting that mangled race car. So a tough break. He looks to be okay up and around and surveying the damage, Ken.
He's been flirting with that outside retaining wall all night long. We had him earlier, right at the beginning of the race, tapping it. This time he tapped it hard and actually got over and flipped it over a couple of times.
Well, it's just the break that Jimmy Sills needed. He'll be starting right on the back bumper now of your two front runners. Of course, that being the 77 of Frankie Kerr and, of course, the 17 of Dave Kelly. So this one's far from over, and I'm sure Kaufman's not disappointed that, we're going to have a restart here.
I think I had him at 8th when the red came out, so that's quite a move for Kaufman.
And we'll be back with the resumption of this 25-lap sprint car feature here at Williamsgrove Speedway. Well, we're back in here at the Williamsgrove Speedway with 10 laps complete and 15 to go. On your leader, the number 77, the Ford-powered machine of Frankie Kerr.
And a lot of jockeying going on back in the pack as cars trying to make their way to the front. And there goes Buckwheat to the lead. He wasted no time. Jimmy Sills is now at the lead. And Kaufman is 5th and going up in the 880.
Just as I predicted, the number 29 is your leader now as they come off turn number 4, but keep your eye on Kaufman. Oh, he come very close to hitting the wall.
He nearly washed that car out completely, but he's now 4th. After going all the way to the back, Keith Kaufman is now 4th, and he's really lightning quick out there as Todd Schaefer loses 2 positions.
Kenny Adams and Chuck Reiner both getting by Schaefer. Let's keep our eye on them off turn number 4. They seem to be really driving hard tonight. Right there's your battle. Let's pick up Keith Kaufman as he tries to run down Dave Kelly in the middle of the backstretch.
I think the guys have just decided if they want to pass, they got to race hard, and that's what they're doing. And Keith Kaufman's going after that 3rd spot as they get the halfway sign.
Kaufman gets a little out of shape off turn number 4, but he's right back on the tailpiece of that American Racing number 17, and he goes by him.
He's now 3rd, so Kaufman not about to give up as he never does. Is now 3rd and trying to reel into 2nd place, Frankie Kerr.
Now it's Keith Kaufman who needs a yellow light to see if he can reel in the big distance between himself and your 2nd place man. We got a car spinning in turn 4.
And he gets just what he needed, so this one is not over yet.
I couldn't have hit it any luckier. As soon as I mentioned it, out comes the yellow. So Kaufman will now go right off the back bumper of Frankie Kerr in the Bob Fetter number 77. I think Sills has Kerr covered, though.
Well, it'll be interesting as we get another caution. This really a strange race, a different kind of race than we've seen all season long.
I think I saw more passing here tonight at Williamsgrove than I've seen all season so far, really. We'll be back with the exciting resumption. Well, we're back in here at the Williamsgrove Speedway, and we were just talking it over here during the yellow. The question is, can Keith Kaufman get by the 77 of Frankie Kerr and pose any kind of a threat on our leader, Jimmy Sills? We're going to find out as the track goes green flag.
Sills brings him off turn 4, and there's Kaufman looking inside at Kerr as they come down the front stretch. And now Kaufman drives hard into the turn and has no problem going by the 77 of Frankie Kerr. If Kaufman can stick down at the bottom like that, he will pose a threat to Sills.
I'll tell you what, the race is on now. Jimmy Sills, your leader. Keith Kaufman runs 2nd. Frankie Kerr runs 3rd. Then it's Dave Kelly and Chuck Reiner side by side.
And now Kaufman has got to go up top and try and make up the ground on Sills and save the bottom for when he has to make the pass. So Kaufman on his way to trying to reel in Jimmy Sills, and this will be lap number
15
this time.
We continue to watch the field as they come off turn number 4. Chuck Ward getting around the number 2 with Steve Siegel. Chuck Reinert and Dave Kelly battling it out. They go side by side down the backstretch. All the attention is right here as they come off turn number 4. Jimmy Sills and Keith Kaufman.
Kaufman now cutting into that lead just a little bit, and he really threw the 880 hard into turn 1 that time. Not lifting at all. Kaufman running the 880 for everything it's got.
One thing's for sure, Keith Kaufman, a rough terrain expert. No doubt about it. He's not afraid to put it in there.
Sills with a lot of horsepower, though, and it's really tough to beat horsepower.
That's a brand new Davy Brown built engine under the hood of that Weichert Livestock number 29 tonight. When I was down in the pits earlier, they were looking at the spark plugs on that car after the heat race.
Those two cars, by far and away, the class of this field tonight, as they are just pulling away from everyone else. And what a difference it makes. Just 1 week ago, there was a bunch of cars racing for the lead.
Well, it seems like the Weichert team and the Morrill team come up with something that nobody else has, at least here tonight, as they continue to dominate this event. Frankie Kerr continues to run 3rd, Dave Kelly 4th, Chuck Reinert runs in that 5th spot, followed by the number 99 of Bill Bailey.
We're working on lap number 21 right now, and really Kaufman's only chance would be the back of the pack. If Sills catches Bobby Landis, which is the back of the pack, that might give Kaufman one last chance.
Boy, he's getting closer and closer.
Oh, he just got into the wall and flipped that car wildly on the backstretch. Keith Kaufman really wiped out the 880 as he just got in too low coming off of turn 2, got against the wall and really rolled that car end over end.
Tough break for the Mifflintown veteran Keith Kaufman. Let's hope that there's no injuries, no serious injuries over there, Ken. The car is a complete loss, but I didn't pick it up myself.
I was watching Kaufman. Well, as you know, it's been the race, him trying to catch Sills, and he got into the fence coming off of 2. You know, he's been running hard, and he was too low coming off 2. Possibly something broke to get him down that low, but firing everything in that car, and he really did some serious rolling. And I think, even though I haven't looked at the car, I think when you said the car was a complete loss, I bet you're right, because I seen the pieces flying.
Oh, the front wheel's laying about 50 feet down the track, part of the front axle, and there's even pieces of the car over on the other side of the backstretch fence. So let's hope that Keith Kaufman is okay, and all we're looking at here is a monetary loss, really. We'll be back with any further developments. Well, we're back here at Williamsgrove, and things are getting a little bit bunched up in turns 3 and 4. We get the green flag, and we'll watch them as Jimmy Sills brings them down the front stretch.
I think we're going to get a false start. Yep, false start situation. I seen Gordon Book shake his hand there as Dave Kelly lost about 3 or 4 spots on that start, and here goes Frankie Kerr racing back up to second. Jimmy Sills set a real slow pace there. I thought we were going to crash another one in turn 3.
Yeah, we saw that before. Remember the National Open here in 86? We were down.
Johnny Mackeson Jr.
Mackeson, he went flying into turn 3. The rest of the field was creeping along. He put her in the bag that night, you might say. Basket case. Well, right now, Jimmy Sills has things his way, that's for sure. I don't see anybody really challenging Sills. Kaufman, there was hopes of seeing a side-by-side battle there for a moment, but Kaufman kind of put the wrench to the works there on that deal.
I think with the crowd we have here at Williamsgrove tonight, there's more people in the pits checking out the 880 right now than there are watching this race, as there is quite a crew gathered around that car. But all attention now focuses to Jimmy Sills for the last 4 laps of this race.
Let's keep our eye on Dave Kelly as he tries to regain that second spot. They thunder off a turn number 4.
There goes Kelly down inside of Frankie Kerr, and Kerr hits that ledge, and those two guys almost get together.
They race nose to tail down the backstretch and into turn number 3. There's some money to be made out there, Ken, as some of the back markers are now beginning to find themselves in a pretty good paying position.
Dave Kelly now lost a spot as Chuck Reinert has moved up into the top 3. Chuck Reinert runs 3rd. Dave Kelly is fourth, and Bill Bailey getting a good ride is fifth.
Off turn number 4, it's still the 29, the red, white, and blue rocket of Jimmy Sills as he continues to lead.
Sills on his way to 2 in a row, and he'll become the first repeat winner here at Williamsgrove for the season. Jimmy Sills will become the first repeat winner. In fact, he'll join Freddie Raymer as the only repeat winners in Central Pennsylvania.
That's exactly right, Sills and Raymer. I was watching Chuck Ward the last time by. He really put that number 3 into turn number 1. I thought he was going to lose the handle, but he saved it. Right now we're working on the final lap on your leader, Jimmy Sills. He's going to win this event easily as he comes off turn number 4 in the Weichert Livestock number 29. White flag waving, 1 more lap to go.
Sills already a straightaway lead on Frankie Kerr. Chuck Reiner, Dave Kelly, Bill Bailey, Joey Rubino, Steve Siegel, Todd Schaefer, Chuck Ward are out there along with Johnny Mackison Jr., Barry Camp, and Bobby Landis tags the back.
Off turn 4, checkered flag in the hand of Butch Book. There it is. Jimmy Sills will pick up the win. Frankie Kerr will take a well-deserved second. Chuck Reiner will finish third. Dave Kelly fourth, and the number 99 of Bill Bailey fifth.
And as I said, Joey Gravino was sixth. Seventh spot goes to Steve Siegel. Eighth to Chuck Ward. Ninth to Todd Schaefer. Barry Camp was 10th. Johnny Mackison Jr. 11th. And Bob Landis, right in the middle of the pack, will finish 12th.
Somewhat of an exodus here as we watch the fans file out of the grandstand area. It's going to be very few people left to watch the limited late model feature. That's still scheduled yet. As we watch Jimmy Sills now roll down the backstretch, he'll be coming into the winner's circle. As you mentioned, Ken, 3-time winner here, winning back-to-back, really, here at Williamsgrove. And I think he would have won it tonight. Kaufman would have had his work cut out for him, even if he would have caught him.
Yeah, it would have been a great race to have Kaufman ahead of Sills and have Sills try and pass Kaufman. Kaufman, they were about equal, and if Sills would have been ahead, it might have been something interesting to see. Sills going to the pits, so I guess we get no post-race interview. With the cold temperatures, they're just going to keep the program moving.
Okay, that just about wraps it up here from the Williamsgrove Speedway for the Strasser Motorsports video crew. I'm Johnny Strasser, along with Ken Stahl and our camera person tonight, out here braving the cold temperatures and the high winds, Patty Strasser. So for the entire Strasser Motorsports video crew, we're saying so long from the Williamsgrove Speedway.